I'm Jim Rogers, and I'm on the board of the IADC, and I'm going to be talking today with one of my partners, Ariel Roberson, about some practical tips on how to increase diversity in your place of employment, and particularly your law firm. Ariel, would you mind introducing yourself, please?
Yes, thank you for having me first and foremost. Like Jim said, my name is Ariel Roberson, and I am a partner in the Raleigh office of Nelson Mullins Riley and Scarborough. I have been practicing now for about 8 years, and I am a litigator through and through. I focus mostly on employment law, some sports law as I've expanded, as well as just the run-of-the-mill business litigation. And I'm happy to be here.
Oh, great. Thanks, Ariel. So why don't we start with a question about ways to increase your diversity in your law firm through your recruiting processes. Can you talk about that, please?
Yes, yeah. So this is something that actually is pretty near and dear to me because it's pertinent and applicable to my life experience, my lived experience. So I am I'm an attorney now, but I was a first generation law student. Had no one in my family who went to law school that I knew who went to law school, and so it was vital for me just to have um, a great experience in law school. And so I went to North Carolina Central University School of Law, which is not a top tier law school. And so one of the things that I would advise law firms across the country is to really just first and foremost have a diversity aligned recruiting program and just be intentional about that. And what that means to me is focusing on not just going to the top tier law schools where you pick out the diverse students who are in the top of their class, but really being intentional about spending time with those law students who are promising and who are bright, but maybe because of their experience, like myself, where they had no real knowledge of what practicing law meant, they don't have that leg up, and so it takes them a little while to really hone their skills. And so for law firms, I would really impress upon them to just be deliberate in expanding their scope of what it means to recruit at law schools.
Great. No, thank you, Ariel. That's very good thoughts. And once, if a firm is lucky enough to get a diverse attorney to come join them, what are some of the ways that you think that a firm can make that experience as good as possible and really invest in the diverse attorney?
Sure. So again, I think that the running theme for me is intentionality, right? Diverse attorneys, we thrive when we're in an environment that feels inclusive, that feels like, the attorneys around us want to work with us and want to provide us with great experience, great client facing experiences. And that's key to a diverse attorney thriving. Another thing I would say is mentorship is really, really important. And it goes hand in hand with sponsorship. But for diverse attorneys, having mentors that can walk them through the law firm culture, because it's a different animal than just practicing law, being a clerk for a judge or going in-house. Law firms have their own culture. And so having a mentor that can really hold your hand through that process is really important. And having a sponsor who just goes to bat for that diverse attorney will really help as well. When I say sponsor, I mean someone who has the ear of those in the firm who make the decisions, who can help that diverse attorney reach their goals of not just being an associate, but going up through the ranks and really being an integral part of the law firm, becoming a partner, becoming someone who is kind of in the fabric of the law firm and helps with different committees in the law firm. So again, intentionality is key.
And let me follow up with you about that, because I know that there's at least perhaps two schools of thoughts and on a sponsorship relationship. And one is that it should be organic, and the other is that it should be assigned, if you will. And what are your thoughts on that?
I honestly, for diverse attorneys, I think it's important and vital that they understand that the firm is very invested in their future. So assigning someone I believe, is important. Now, that's not to say that you assign a sponsor and that diverse attorney doesn't have an informal sponsor, informal mentor, because that's important as well. But for me, I'll say from my own experience, my formal mentor um, happens to also be my sponsor, and he's been key and pivotal in my career. But I've also had great informal mentors, some of whom aren't even at my firm now, but they still make sure that I am doing well in my career.
Great. And, you know, that's another thing I was going to ask you about is if you've had any experience with firms using outside mentors. I mean, somebody outside of the firm in order to create more of a business community relationship, you know, with a young lawyer.
Yes, like I was saying, my experience has been pretty storybook. I came into my firm, and my mentor and we hit it off right away, and he was someone who is also very key in making decisions at our firm, and so he made it very. He put it on the table pretty early that his goal for me, if I so chose, was to become a partner, and we've made that happen. But he was also the one who's told me, I want you to have mentors outside of me. I want you to have mentors outside of the firm, so that you can have a board of directors, if you will, is what he used to call it, that you can trust, that has your back, and it's not just one point of view that you're getting.
Yeah, no, that's great thoughts. And Ariel, how about ways that firms can celebrate diversity or celebrate successes? And what are some of your ideas about that?
Yes, I think the one thing, we hear diversity and inclusion and equity now. These are buzzwords, but what does it really mean? I am wholeheartedly a proponent of celebrating our differences. And I think firms that really get behind that concept will go a long way. One example from my firm, recently we enacted what's called Cultural Day. And that's a day where you can celebrate a day of your choosing that is particularly important to you and your culture. And I think that's wonderful. Just to show diverse attorneys and just attorneys in the firm in general how important it is to celebrate your unique culture.
Great. And are there also things that you think a firm can do to not only, I guess, allow people to celebrate a certain day, but to provide educational opportunities for other attorneys, about the meaning behind, the days that are being celebrated?
Of course, yes. And again, it's not just about your own experience, but it's celebrating, accepting, being tolerant of others. And so it's great when a law firm can recognize that it's made up of many integral parts, and that's just it goes hand in hand with what I've been saying. Just being intentional about uh, the ways in which you celebrate those that make up your organization.
Great. All right. Thank you so much, Ariel. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it.